Hello, everyone. Welcome to Anatomy and Physiology lecture. So whether you're in A&P 1 or 2, this will give you some guidance on point out some things in the syllabus, and then we'll look at Canvas. So your syllabus tells you who I am, how to email me, which is the best way to contact me, and I'm Dr. Julie Robinson. I am so excited to talk about the class. I almost forgot to introduce myself. So I am department chair for biological and health sciences, and I teach a lot of A&P, and I've been doing so for a very long time. So on here, you'll see when your class meets, where it meets, the expected number of study hours. That may be a little more if you don't have a lot of experience with science. It may be a little less if you already have some experience with science. And then if we scroll down in the syllabus, you can read the course description, the competencies. Those are all the things that you need to be able to do by the time you're done, an overview of the topics, and then we'll talk about grades. So the way that grade works in A&P is the lecture and lab grade are combined. So for the lecture, about 50% of that 70% is exams. There is a common assessment that is the same across all classes. It covers the entire course, but before you panic, it's open note, open book. So don't worry, you'll have materials that you can use to help you with that common assessment. And there's also lots of assignments, lots of assignments to help you learn the material, to really integrate it, to understand it, to love it. And then if we scroll down some more, you'll see that we use an OER textbook for this class, A&P 1 and 2. So you can buy a print copy through the bookstore or other sources, or you can use the free version that you'll find right here. You can also download a PDF to your computer. You don't have to buy a coloring book, but it's a good way to study. I used one throughout college and graduate school, and it was kind of a relaxing, different way to study, especially anatomy. In case you haven't heard, it's no big secret. A&P is really hard. It's hard, it requires a lot of time, there's a lot of material that you're going to learn in a short period, what's going to feel like a short period of time. So you got to make a plan. Make a plan to study consistently a few hours, multiple days a week. The research tells us that if you do power sessions, say on a Saturday or a Friday or whatever day you have off, they don't work very well because you need to do what's called interleaving or interweaving of the material, which means you have to look at it multiple times to move it from short-term to long-term memory. There are different kinds of assignments that you may have in class, and those can include some in-class group work or some questions I may give you to do, a case study that you might do on your own or in class. I'm really into making class as interactive as it can possibly be, but that means that you got to do the pre-work. So sometimes you might have a pre-class quiz that asks about you to say watch a video and look at some anatomy, or to do some pre-work on a physiological concept. And please at least peruse the chapter. Get a general idea. Like read it like you would a fiction book, right? You're not going to understand every single word the first time you read through it, but just get kind of a general idea so that words like pericardium or syncytium or action potential aren't words that I am just spewing out at you for the first time when you come into class. So my late work policy is pretty simple. I don't accept late work, nor do I give makeups on exams or lab practicals unless you have a really, really, really good reason for that. And the reason is because the majority of you will turn things in on time. You will turn your lives upside down to do your schoolwork on time and make it a priority. And I think out of respect for that dedication, I have to be pretty strict with this policy. We will be having lecture exams online. So if you're in A&P 2, the format is pretty similar, except that in the open response sections, you'll be given a choice of which questions you want to answer. You won't just be fed those questions. So you should read this and make sure that you understand it. If you don't, or if you have questions, please let me know and be happy to answer those for you before you take a test. Always use the topic concentration guides. I wrote the test. I know the topic concentration guides tell you what's going to be on the exams. So please use those. They may look extensive, but they're very detailed so that you can hone in on what you need to know and not study things that you won't necessarily be tested on in this class. Maybe in a future class, but not our class. And you will do a practice quiz using the Respondus exam security software. So you'll have a chance to use it and work out any kinks before you take an actual test or practical. If you have a technical issue during an online lab practical or an exam, don't panic. Do the best you can to solve the problem or contact tech support to solve the problem, but we can always find a way to fix it. So don't panic. Don't think you've automatically failed. Talk to your instructor, whether that's me or somebody else. So you can read more about the common assessment here, that last cumulative assessment. And I expect that you're going to come to class and you're going to love to be there, right? Because you chose to take the course. I'm going to do the best I can to help you learn the material and have some fun sometimes because it is really interesting and really fun material. I mean, I've dedicated my life to this subject matter, so I, on my honor, it is super, super interesting. If you need help, get a tutor. You can always sign up for a tutor. And Sarah Hebert, our library director, runs the tutoring. Her information's right here. Sign up for a tutor now, and then if you decide later, I'm good, I don't need it, maybe you're going to be a tutor at some point, then you can drop your tutor. What doesn't tend to work well is waiting until after the second or third test and then trying to get a tutor. Um, because you may not be able to find one with whom your hours work. And please don't disappear, right? If you're thinking about dropping the class, please don't disappear. Number one, that could end up with an AF, meaning if you disappear from class and you don't communicate with us, you could be dropped from the class. Or if you need some help, like just reach out. The worst thing we can say to you is, no, that's not something I can accommodate, but you won't know unless you ask, right? We're all here because we love to teach, we love what we teach, and we want to help you reach your dreams and get through and to your goals. So don't be shy, don't be afraid to ask. So this is where the technical information is for you, things that you need to put on your computer or the kind of computer that you might need to use. You need one that'll let you download the Respondus software, or you can go to campus, contact Laura Hansen in Keene, or Charlene Ashe in Lebanon, and their information is in the syllabus toward the beginning. And if you need any tech support, I have put a module in Canvas that has all the links you should need in one place because I know how frustrating it can be to have technical problems and not know where to get the information to help you solve those problems. So I'm moving through this A&P2 lecture syllabus in the order in which it flows in a PDF file or on paper. So you're also going to see a course calendar, and the course calendar will tell you what we're doing each week, what kind of things are due, when there is, in the case of this A&P2 class, a video homework that's due by the beginning of class that week, or an exam, right? So this gives the 48-hour window during which the exam will be open, and then it's due here at 8:45 a.m. on a Tuesday, so that when we meet that Tuesday, you're not still trying to learn and concentrating on other things. You're ready to move on to the next topic and integrate what you just learned with what we're going to learn now. There's no flush and forget in A&P. It's all cumulative. So the better you study, the more you study for longevity, the more you'll actually enjoy A&P, and the more that you'll be able to bring into program classes or graduate school courses, wherever you're going, you will be able to take this knowledge with you and not have to keep relearning things over and over and over again. So there's just a few last things in the syllabus that I want to point out. But remember, you're responsible for reading the entire syllabus. Yes, the whole thing. So if you need any kind of classroom accommodations, just follow this link, you fill out the form, and then someone from that office will contact you to discuss more. It's a very discreet process. Please don't be afraid to use it if you need it. If you have any Title IX issues, all that information is right here for you. And then lastly, I will just say a word about academic integrity, which is please be honest. Just be a good doobie. Be really honest. Do your own work. Earn your A your own way so that you can be really proud of your own accomplishments. And as we move from these beautiful waning days of summer into New England fall and winter, don't forget to sign up for the RVCC alerts so that you'll know if there's a closure on campus or if something's happened and you can't go to campus. Maybe your class will be working online. I don't think our classes will ever be canceled if we're online. If a lab is canceled, you'll have an online version of it. So let's go look at Canvas. By the way, you're going to need the secret word for the Respondus Syllabus quiz, and here it is. It's Gardens 13. Gardens 13. And if you read my bio, that'll probably make a little more sense. Okay, so here's Canvas. I got here from my dashboard. Don't forget to check your inbox. You can email me, I can email you through that inbox. There's also a Canvas calendar here that will show you when you have things due for your classes. You can also see that here in the to-do list, and you can also see it on the syllabus page and in the modules. But a word of caution, anything that requires you to use Respondus, you should not get to that from here, the to-do list or the calendar or the syllabus page. Anything that requires Respondus, you should enter through the modules page. Grades are here. The syllabus is here. By the time you actually see this live, your syllabus will be right here, as will the link for this video. And most of your time is going to be spent here in the modules section. So if you have your syllabus, you can hold up the schedule part of your syllabus and look through that while we're looking at it here in Canvas. So this is an AP2 class, so there isn't much information on introductions because I think most of you are probably familiar with Canvas. There's the tech support links that I talked about. Those will be different for lab because there's a few more technologies we use. In my class, I provide a list of websites that you can use to help you practice or to get just another perspective on things. So week to week, and the weeks will open as groups. So the first 6 weeks are open in this class. That might be the first 4 weeks in another class. So I provide the notes for the chapter that we're going to do. This is a syllabus quiz, and then the all-important topic concentration guide, which is the study guide for lecture. For labs, the study guide is the objectives in the labs. And for this class, we're gonna play a Kahoot on day 1. It'll be lots of fun. I am very competitive. I'm not shy about admitting that. So, and I do give prizes. I have a giant candy jar in my office, and I am not shy about giving away the candy. So if we look down at this week, right, really similar. Notes for the chapter, notes for the next chapter, a couple of homework assignments, and then the topic concentration guide again. So if we scroll down a little bit to a week where there's an exam, you will see that the due date for the exam is listed here. And again, as I said, if there's anything using Respondus, you want to go in through the module section, not through any other way to get there. Once you click on the page, you'll see some instructions, pretty important ones. In this particular case, this class is allowed to use a piece of paper, which is not normal for the test. And then when you're ready, you just click here and go to the test, but you have to enter through Respondus. So I look forward to exploring the exciting world of A&P with you, whether that's A&P 1 or A&P 2. I love them both.